Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mic Drop Monday with ElisaLaShell, the Empowerment Specialist. I am so excited to have you guys join me on tonight. So what I'm going to do is give you guys an opportunity to join me live, and I am going to start sharing so that I can invite some other people to watch along with us. I'm so excited. I believe that we are going to have an amazing time tonight. So let me give you guys a second. Hey, Kim, I'm going to give you guys a second to come on. I'm going to start sharing. Make sure that you guys speak as you come on. Make sure you tell me hello. If you are watching for the first time, make sure that you let me know that as well. And I'm going to post this on a couple of pages to get everybody on. Hey, Nicole, I'm so excited. I got so much to share with you guys, and we're going to be off the chain today. Hey, KJ, thanks for watching. So everybody come on. Make sure that you guys, Sandra's watching from Moultrie's in the house as always. Thank you so much. So I'm going to start sharing this with a couple of my pages. Nasir, thank you so much for watching. I get so excited every Monday. Hey, Teresa from Fitzgerald, thank you so much for watching. So if you know some people that should be on, hey, Kenya, start getting them on as well. If you have a page, share it. If you have a community group that could enjoy this, hey, Tracy, share this with them as well. So I'm sharing this with a couple of pages that I have. Hey, Brenda, I'm so excited to have you guys join me. Thank you so much, Demetra. I appreciate it. So I am going to, let's see, I have one more place. Cheryl's watching from Delaware. Hello and welcome. So excited to have you on tonight. Let me share this. Let's see, I have one more group that I'm going to share this with. Thank you guys. Hey, Tracy, for watching. Hey, Lakeisha, I am excited. Listen, make sure that you guys are not only sharing, but letting me know where you're watching from. Oh, listen, my brother Lawrence Knighton is in the house tonight. I'm so glad to have you. Vera, hello and welcome. Let's see. I have one group that I need to share this with, and then we will get started. You guys come on. Hey, Ty, thank you and welcome. You guys come on. Hey, Sherry, welcome. I'm excited, and I'll tell you guys that don't know in a second why I'm so excited tonight. Hey, Tina, thank you so much for watching. Let's see. Join us live now. So listen, you guys, use your power of influence to share. Hey, everybody, thank you so much. Use your power of influence to share this, because tonight I'm going to hit on a topic. Hey, Shantaria from Tifton that's watching. Thank you so much for joining. Tonight I'm going to hit on a topic that's really going to be off the chain. Hey, Cheryl, Ty's watching from Houston, Texas is in the house. So I am excited. We're going to talk about something tonight. Hey, Tina, that a lot of people don't really deal with. Mario, thank you so much, watching from Tampa. Hey, Sheila. And I dealt with it a lot this weekend, and it's kind of just been on my mind and my heart and my spirit. And I felt like it was something. Let's see who we have watching. Bunshay, thank you so much for watching and welcome. Phyllis, thank you so much, watching from Montezuma's in the house. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Everybody take a moment. Kim's watching from DC. All right, DC is in the house. Yeah, I love knowing where you guys are watching me from. Hey, Cynthia, if it's your first time, listen, make sure that you tell me it's your first time watching so I can give you a shout out. Thank you, Barbara, that's watching from Blakely always. I appreciate you. My friend Angela is on. Hello, woman of God. Thank you for tuning in tonight. So listen, you guys, thank you that are sharing. Make sure that you guys are sharing this on your page. Hey, Velvet, make sure that you guys are tagging friends. Angela's watching from North Carolina. I appreciate you guys being in the house, because tonight is really going to be the truth. Kathy's watching from Mississippi. Thank you so much. Hey, Carlencia. So I want to give you guys just a moment to join in. If you are watching for the first time, hey, Barbara, I want you to make sure that you're following me all across social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and of course Facebook. Make sure if you haven't already start following me that you follow me there. Hey, Michelle, I have a YouTube channel as well, and so there are a lot of Mic Drop Monday segments that I share over onto YouTube. So if you've missed some of them, if you're interested in going back, I'm talking about I have dropped the mic so many times. Wilmington, North Carolina is in the house. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And so on my YouTube channel, you will see I've talked about things like my secret won't let me get free, my weakness is ruining my life, let's see, how to say no and mean it. So make sure the damaged daughter dilemma, am I raising a mama's boy, the absent father dilemma, all of those videos are on my YouTube channel. So if you have not already subscribed to it and checked it out, make sure. Lernika Joseph, thank you, beautiful. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you for joining from Orlando. I appreciate you for being in the house tonight. So listen, guys, get everybody on, even those of you guys that are watching the replay. Hello and welcome. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you as well share this because a lot of people watch the replay and they tune in and they comment. And I'm just so grateful for all of you guys that are joining me tonight. I am very, very excited and very, very humbled that you guys are following me and that are watching with me tonight. I really believe that we're going to deal with something that's a little deep, and it might even surprise you, some of the things that we're going to deal with tonight, because this isn't surface stuff. This isn't things that we just, we come about every day. Sometimes you got to dig a little deep to deal with Mic Drop Monday. We go beneath the surface. You guys already know that my mantra is that you can't fix what you won't face. And so Mic Drop Monday is about help, hope, and healing. We come here because we are ready to receive some help, some hope, and some healing by way of announcement, and really to stir you guys up for tonight, because I believe it's going to be powerful. And Pastor Knighton is on, so he can vouch for this. This past weekend, I had a chance to go back to Albany, Georgia, and I had a conference that I was supposed to be attending just to, go do a women's workshop and for Saturday morning. But I dropped by my great friend, Dr. Tracy Knighton and Pastor Lawrence Knighton's house. That Friday night, they had a night of healing that I kind of stumbled up into, and I promise you guys, listen, there were so many women that were gathered. I came for the lasagna, but God ended up using me to speak words of prophecy and to get deep beneath the surface and dig out some things that those women had not yet faced, some things that they had not really looked at and dealt with. And some of that I'm going to deal with tonight, as some of those things were brought to the surface. Listen to me, there were some supernatural things that took place. My granny is on. There were some supernatural miracles that took place. There were some supernatural breakthroughs that took place. And then the next day, I had to do a seminar for a women's conference that Saturday morning. And listen, by the time I got up, the prophetic came in like a wind, and I turned around and everybody in the place except for about 4 people were standing at the altar in front of me. And I promise you guys, God sent me a prophetic word to each and every individual. There were women in their 60s and 70s and young in their 20s, and even a child that came, and God sent precise prophetic words, and healing, supernatural breakthroughs came through. And then on Sunday, I'm trying to head back to South Carolina, and my brother Lawrence Knighton asked me to come by his church. I was just coming to join into the worship, and what do you know, God sends a prophetic word, and I get the microphone, and let me tell you something. By the time I left that place and took my seat, dozens of grown men had come to the altar, had received prophetic words, and had had a time of emotional healing and breakthrough. There were some people that were there that are on tonight that can tell you it was phenomenal. I've never seen anything like that, to see men that were coming for healing, that men that were receiving words of affirmation, men that allowed me to flow in the prophetic and speak into their lives. And so I'm excited about what God is doing in this hour. I keep telling y'all, God is up to something, and I'm just humbled and grateful to be in the midst. Now, most of you guys probably already know this. One of my close friends, Shamika Dean, the Queen of Restoration, is on. And last week, she was talking about supernatural suddenlies. And I went on her live on YouTube. And if you are not following her, Shamika Dean, she's amazing. She does on Thursday nights on YouTube, she does Shake the Heavens. And she was up there shaking the heavens. And I was touching and agreeing with her about suddenly, supernatural suddenlies. And then I get to Georgia, and there was the prophetic flow that came through. And then I get back, and my husband, that's right, St. James is the church that I was at. So if you are in Albany, listen, they were amazing in St. James there in Baconton, Georgia. Pastor Lawrence Knighton, listen, the atmosphere was phenomenal. But anyway, the supernatural, suddenly I get home, and I'm working on Mic Drop Monday and doing some other things, and my husband calls me, and he says, listen, I see that you're doing a lot of traveling. People are sending for you. You're going to be all over. And I need to make sure that you're safe. And I need to make sure that I feel safe when you're doing this traveling. And I was like, you're right, honey. I do. I want to feel safe. I am doing a lot of traveling. And so I had just talked to him about the supernatural prophetic that had hit while the 3 days while I was in Albany, every single where I went. And again, I can't tell you enough to see women, men, and children receiving words of the prophetic and getting emotional healing blew my mind. Well, he tells me that he sees me. And y'all remember a couple of Mic Drop Mondays ago, I told you guys, I said, listen, it's time to level up in every area of our lives. I did a Mic Drop Monday and I talked about breaking the poverty mentality. Some of you guys were on, and I did a Mic Drop Monday and I talked about 5 blessing blockers. And I said, listen, you guys got to start touching and agreeing with me. And so many people sold into me during those Mic Drop Mondays and was calling and texting and inboxing me about their supernatural breakthroughs that they were getting. Well, guess what? I got one today. First guy showed up and showed out in Georgia. Then I get here and my husband, he's saying, listen, you're getting ready to travel. You're traveling. They're sending for you, and I want you to be safe. So I have something for you. Listen, I thought the man had went and got me a taser because, if anything's suspect, he wanted me to be okay. This man drives up into the yard with a 2018 Audi. Listen, I'm looking at this thing like, what in the world? And I posted it on my page. Listen, I'm bragging on God. I'm boasting on God. It's not of myself. I'm just so grateful for just that blessing, for him just to even be thinking past, sure, I'm sure he wanted one, but for him to even be thinking about, listen, I'm watching you. I'm listening to you. I'm looking at what God is doing through you. And I want to make sure I'm doing my part to make sure that you're covered. And I don't want to just let you lead from the back. I want you to be up front. If you're talking to people about leveling up and upgrading, listen, he's making sure. You guys know that we just moved to Columbia, South Carolina. I'm in love with my beautiful new home. It was a level up. And then he brings this car. It was a level up. And I'm telling you, God is doing a new thing. Supernatural checks are dropping in the mail. And I just have to believe that it's because of obedience. It's because of consistency. It's because of sowing. I've been teaching about the principle of seed time and harvest. And so I'm telling you guys that I said, God, don't let me just be talking to people about the supernatural increase. Don't let me just be talking to people about leveling up. I want to be a witness. I'm okay with people looking sideways. I'm okay with people talking about me. I'm okay with all of that. But if you're going to allow me to teach it, then I want to live it too. And so God, I'm telling you, is leveling up, but it's because of the principle of seed time and harvest. You guys know that every single Monday, I am right here on Mic Drop Monday. I am sowing into you guys. I'm sowing into your relationships. I'm sowing into your spirit, into your self-esteem. I'm sowing into your lives. I'm trying to speak life and empowerment into every area. I never charge those of you that sow back into me. I'm grateful for it, but I do it because I know that is what I am called to do. And I'm watching. God says, listen, because you speak Galatians 6:7, that whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. Because you just sat there and was obedient and taught the people about the whole principle of seed time and harvest, let me make sure that you see some of the harvest that you're reaping from the seeds that you've sown. And I am grateful. And so I just had to take that moment just to brag on God just a little bit to show you that I'm living this thing. And God is being faithful and true to his word. So listen, I hope all of you guys have shared, because I'm getting ready to go in tonight and I want to deal with something that I believe is one of those things that we don't do a lot of talking about, and that is anger. We don't hear a lot of people talk about anger. As a matter of fact, for some reason, we almost feel like it's a sin to be angry, even though clearly the Bible says, listen, be angry, just don't sin. Get angry. It's okay. You're going to be mad. There are going to be times where, you've got an attitude where something has really bothered your spirit. And even the Bible, it says, listen, be angry, just sin not. But let me tell you what I've discovered is the reason why we fall into sin, the reason why we go left is because we don't know what to do with our anger. We don't know how we really don't know how to express it. We don't know how to acknowledge it. We don't know what to do. We're angry about a lot of things. There are so many things that happen in our life that make us feel some kind of way, but because we were taught to hide it, because we were taught some different things, and I'm going to get into that in a second, we push our anger to the side and we don't know what to do with it. But if I can just tell the truth, I believe that there are a lot of us that are walking around and we are angry. Now, we think anger means that we're walking around with an attitude. No, I've seen some of the sweetest people, but there's some anger on the inside. I've seen some anointed people, but there's some anger on the inside. I've seen some of the most mild-mannered people, but guess what? Because there were some unresolved issues that never went to the front, there was some anger that was brewing on the inside. And I always say, even though the word says when you know the truth, it will make you free, I always add to that. But listen, before the truth can make you free, you need to realize what lie is holding you hostage. And so a lot of times we're not able to walk in our truth because there's some things that are holding us hostage. And so tonight we are going to dismantle. I'm always saying this. We're going to dismantle the dysfunction of being angry. We're going to recognize, listen, there are some places in my life, if I were to really tell the truth, well, I'm mad. Oh yeah, I'm angry. And some of the reason why we won't give ourselves permission to acknowledge the anger is because we are ashamed of the people that we're angry with. I'm dropping the mic already tonight. Listen, I hope you guys are sharing because somebody's going to get free tonight because we're going to tell the truth about ourselves. So again, tonight we're talking about the truth is I'm angry. We're dealing with anger issues on tonight. And if, and a lot of people, again, we like just to pretend like, how are you doing? I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm above only. Listen, we try to walk around as though we are just, I'm fine. Everything's cool. Honey, that doesn't bother me. But the real truth, if we were to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help us God, we're angry. And so I told you guys, you can't fix what you won't face. But when you get bold enough to face it, there's help, there's hope, and there's healing. Now, there are a lot of you guys that are watching for the first time. So let me give Dr. Tam is in the house. Thank you so much for watching. There are a lot of you guys that are new that are in the house. So I want to give you my quick rules for Mic Drop Monday. Number 1. If you hear me drop the mic, if I say something significant and it hits you like a ton of bricks and you say, wow, that was a mic drop, do me a quick favor and just hit that microphone emoji. Put that on the screen. It lets me know that this was a mic drop. Hey, Miss T, thank you for watching. It lets me know that I've said something. Some people put bombs. They tell me that I'm dropping hammers and bombs and grenades, all kinds of things. But if you hear something that resonates, that really is just an epiphany for you, or just type in the words mic drop, let me know that I'm dropping the mic. Secondly, if I say something and you say, wow, you know what? That's me. I see me in that. Do me a favor and type in 3 words. I see me. What that does is that helps us have some accountability. What it does is it shows somebody else, you know what? I thought I was the only person that felt like that. You know what? I thought I was the only person that was angry at her. You know what? I thought I was the only person that was still holding that. But when you type in I see me, you are saying, listen, let me be accountable for my feelings. Let me just say, hey, I see me in that. So do that for me. And then third, last but not least, sometimes I give out points. If you hear certain points or certain words that I say that resonate, type those in the comments. There are so many people that love Mic Drop Monday because they say the people that watch you, man, they type your stuff in the comments and I'm able to go back and learn and hear that. So drop the mic if you hear me do a mic drop. Put in I see me if you can see yourself in something that I'm saying. And then 3, some of you guys that really are good at typing, if you want to type some of those points in, I would appreciate it. It would be awesome. So we're getting ready to start. I'm giving everybody, I see so many people that are coming on. Everybody take just a moment and share this on your page. Thank you guys so much. I know I don't always get to respond to all of the comments, but I promise you guys I read every last one of them. So here we go. We're dealing with the truth is I'm angry. And I want to begin by explaining anger. Anger is a natural and almost automatic response to pain. Hear this. Anger is a natural and almost automatic response to pain in one form or another, whether it is physical pain or whether it's emotional pain. Anger can occur a lot of times when people don't feel well, when you feel rejected, when you feel threatened, when you experience loss. Anger is a natural emotion that is a response to some type of pain. Now listen, pain alone is not the only thing that causes anger. Anger occurs when pain is triggered. There is a trigger. I need everybody to type in the comments, I have a trigger. Oh yeah, you got to tell the truth and shame the devil. This is how you get free. You got to type in the comments, I have a trigger. Baby, listen, all of us have a trigger. There is something that sets us off. And I know we try to be politically correct and we try to be religious and we have all of these things following this fake protocol that we have in our heads. And we don't really know how to articulate the fact that we are angry. Hey, Camille. And so listen, I'm going to help you talk about anger tonight because you can't fix what you won't face. And what I'm realizing, so that you understand what I'm doing tonight, I want you to confess that I have a trigger. Somebody said, listen, my god sister's on. She said, I got a few triggers. That's right. The only way that we're going to be able to get free is that we've got to recognize, wait a minute, who am I angry with and why am I angry and what am I angry about? So the first half of Mic Drop Monday tonight is we got to identify our triggers. We got to admit the truth to ourselves and say, I have a trigger. Oh yeah, thank you guys for typing it in the comments. We got to tell the truth tonight. I have a trigger. Listen, the definition of whether someone's anger is a problem often turns into whether or not people agree with them. See, sometimes what happens is we think we're angry and people try to tell you, girl, you mad about that? That's not anything to be angry about. And so we pull back and we say, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not angry. Maybe I just need to put that up. Maybe I need to just stop doing that. Listen. Anger is activated by triggers. And so that's the first thing I'm having you guys to type in the comments. I have a trigger. And so we've got to get to the point where we can identify our triggers. Thoughts that can trigger anger include our personal assessments. We look at how we feel about ourselves and boy, that's a trigger. Man, you know what? I didn't mean to get pregnant early. I didn't mean to have a baby out of wedlock. Man, I should have finished school. And so how we feel when we do assessments about ourselves, we can get angry. Assumptions. Oh boy, when people make assumptions about us, man, that's a trigger. Well, I know you think this and that. Where do you even get that from? I don't even think like that. Listen. Triggers. When people evaluate us, they size you up and they say, I can tell right now she's not hitting on nothing. I can tell right now he don't have anything to him. Woo, that's a trigger. It makes you angry. When people interpret a situation like they know the whole deal, it's a trigger. It starts saying, wait a minute, that's a trigger. And so we're angry. I say this all the time. Y'all know it's my favorite quote. The great late Dr. Reverend Tupac said, ain't a killer, but don't push me. That push is a trigger. Every now and again, you can be just minding your own sweet business and there's something on the inside of you that you have not resolved and the wrong person at the wrong time pushes and you say, whoa, you start morphing. I mean, you turn quick. I have a trigger. And so triggers will invoke and provoke your anger. And so tonight we are going to deal with the truth is I am angry. Now, why don't we why is this something that I'm dealing with on Mic Drop Monday? It's because for so many times we've been taught to dismiss anger. We've been taught not to recognize anger. We've been taught, girl, you shouldn't be mad. Boy, you shouldn't even be mad. It's not polite to be angry. It's not scriptural to be angry. You're not saved if you get mad. Listen, find it. Because when I read the word, it says, listen, be angry. Just sin not. And so I think that my interpretation of that is if you do not acknowledge your emotions, how will you ever process your truth? Whew, that was a mic drop. If you don't ever acknowledge your emotions, how will you ever process your truth? Some of us can't get to the truth about who we really are and how we really feel because we won't allow ourselves to be angry. Because we won't look at things and say, wait a minute, I'm mad about something. And I keep ignoring it and I keep pushing it to the side and I keep hollering Jesus on top of it or I keep acting like it's not there. But the truth is, I'm angry. And you can't fix what you won't face. And so in our head, sometimes we think anger is a bad emotion. In our head, we're thinking nobody likes angry people. In our head, we're thinking angry people aren't lovable. In our head, we're thinking angry people are a problem. And so we hide. And so we push to the side. And so we pretend like we are not mad. But the truth is, I'm angry. And I say this all the time. God can't heal what you won't reveal. And you won't reveal what you won't feel. Woo, listen, I'm on fire tonight. Listen to me. God can't heal what you won't reveal. You got to expose it and say, help, I got a problem. But you won't reveal what you don't feel. If you keep pretending like you're not angry, how are you going to reveal it? If you keep numbing it and living in a dysfunction of a delusion, then how will you feel it? And so God can't heal what you won't reveal, but you can't reveal what you won't feel. And so tonight it's about masks off. Tonight it's about getting to the core and to the root and recognizing I'm angry and I need to deal with it so that I can get help, hope, and healing. And so listen, as human beings, it is our natural desire to be loved. Boy, we'll do anything to get love. We want to avoid feeling abandoned. And so we have in our head that angry people don't deserve to be loved. And so in those times where we're angry, people make us feel some kind of way. When we're angry, they tell us that we're irrational, or they pull back, or they shut down. And so we pull ourselves into this belief that, you know what? If I ever allow myself to be angry, people are going to abandon me. So let me pretend like I'm happy all the time. Let me pretend like everything's okay. Let me pretend like they can mistreat me. Let me pretend like they can lie on me. And let me just make it seem like I'm okay. But guess what? Deep down on the inside, it's festering. We keep telling ourselves, you're not supposed to feel like that. But the reality is your anger is trying to tell you something. Oh, listen, let me stop and make that a mic drop. Somebody needs to type this in the comments. My anger is speaking to me. Oh, I know I'm dropping the mic already. I'm helping somebody get free tonight. I need you to type that in the comments. My anger is speaking to me. And because we've disillusioned the dysfunction that we're not supposed to be angry, we won't allow our anger to speak. Our anger tells us who we really have a problem with. Our anger tells us that we're really not healed and we're really not whole. Our anger tells us that there are still some issues that need to be worked on. Our anger tells us that we really haven't forgiven. Our anger tells us that it's still some things that we need to fix. And so God can't heal what you won't reveal. But you won't reveal what you don't feel. And so tonight, we've got to stop numbing ourselves. Tonight, we've got to stop pretending and take the mask off. And so everybody type in the comments, my anger is speaking to me. My anger is trying to tell me something. And a lot of times, the reason we're not able to move forward in purpose, a lot of times the reason that we're not able to move forward in who we're supposed to be is because we're muting our anger. Woo, that's good. We're muting our anger. But our anger is speaking. Somebody said I might have to do a part 2. I feel a part 2 coming on. I feel that. And so tonight, I was like, God, you want me to talk about anger? And he said, listen to me. There are so many angry people that feel like they don't have permission to be angry. And you need to help them, give them some help, some hope, and some healing. And so stop muting your anger because your anger is speaking to you. And so here we go. We're going to deal with this. A lot of times, people that are angry, you feel like your anger is not justified. You say things like, oh, you know what? That happened so long ago, so I shouldn't even be angry about that. You know what? They said they didn't mean to do it, so I shouldn't even be angry about that. We say things like, you know what? They didn't know what they were doing, so I really shouldn't be angry. But and so we repress it and we squash it and we hide it. But listen, my anger is speaking to me. And so we've got to deal with the anger dilemma. Hear me. We tell ourselves things like, you know, I'll just it's not worth it. I don't even want to deal with the fallout from me expressing my anger. I don't even want to deal with the drama that's going to happen if I were to say that I'm angry. But listen, it is more satisfying to feel angry than to acknowledge the painful feelings that are associated with our vulnerabilities. Listen to me now. It's more satisfying to just feel angry instead of acknowledging, wait a minute, I get vulnerable. If I got to acknowledge my anger, that means I got to admit somebody hurt my feelings. If I acknowledge that I'm angry, that means I got to admit that I feel cheated. If I acknowledge that I'm angry, that means that I've got to admit that somebody did something wrong. If I admit that I'm angry, that means I got to admit that I might have messed up and made a mistake. If I open up my mouth and admit that I am angry, that means I'm going to feel like, I think I might be doing somebody wrong if I admit I'm angry. Listen to me. So many of us are walking around under a facade of complacency. We're acting as though we're okay. We're acting like it's all good. But there are some unresolved anger issues that we can't fix because we won't face them. Hear me. People are hurting because they've been taught, hey, you're not supposed to be angry. You should have gotten over that by now. You should have went past that by now. Anger, you're going to go to hell if you're angry. Listen, I keep telling y'all, the Bible says be angry, but sin not. And the reason that we fall into sin is because we don't know how to acknowledge our anger. But the truth of the matter is we're angry. Let me tell you something. If you don't acknowledge your anger, it can cause you to have physical repercussions. I hope I'm helping you tonight. Hey, Mother Heilig, I hope I'm helping. Listen, there is a direct connection between being constantly angry, competitive, aggressive with early heart disease. You better hear me. If you do not acknowledge the anger in your life, Nino is on. Bless you. Thank you, sir, for being on. If you don't acknowledge the anger in your life and you keep trying to hide it and pretend like everything's okay and act like it's not that serious, listen, repressing it leads to early heart disease. Also, did you know that there are evidence from numerous studies that chronic anger, hostility, aggression raises your risk of developing some deadly forms of heart disease and raises your blood pressure? My daddy is on. Hey, daddy, it raises your blood pressure. So listen to me. Unacknowledged anger not only raises your blood pressure, but it is linked to heart disease. You better hear me tonight. Pastor D is on. Thank you, woman of God, for watching. And so that's why I had you to type in the comments, my anger is speaking to me. And so a lot of times we felt ashamed that we were angry. We don't want to acknowledge our anger, and we keep shushing our anger, and we keep muting our anger. But listen, your anger is trying to tell you something. I'm trying to help you tonight. Your anger is telling you what you're really not healed from. Your anger is telling you who you've not forgiven. Your anger is telling you what was that point in your life where you got stuck. Your anger is trying to tell you something. I got to say this one more time for the people in the back. Listen, God can't heal what you won't reveal, and you won't reveal what you don't feel. And so every time you try to desensitize yourself and pretend like you're happy-go-lucky, you are not giving God an opportunity to heal that part of you that's mad. I'm helping. I know I'm helping tonight. This is a real word. And so how do you tell when you're angry? Because a lot of you all are saying, well, I don't really get angry. Well, let's see. Some signs of anger is if you clench your jaw or if you grind your teeth. Some of you guys might be thinking, I'm just grinding my teeth. I just do that. It's a habit. Listen, studies show in my research that if you're constantly grinding your teeth or clenching your jaws, there's some unrepressed anger. Listen, research shows anger is linked to headaches. It's trying to tell you something. Your head is always hurting. I dealt with this weekend when I was at the healing summit with those women and I was speaking prophetically. I said, some of you guys are having migraines. Some of you guys are having stomach issues like ulcers. Listen, anger is linked. Increased and rapid heart rate. Anger is linked to that. Sweating, especially in your hands. You find yourself like, man, I just keep sweating. Listen to me. This could be repressed and an unacknowledged anger. Feeling hot in your neck and in your face. You can say, I see me. You shaking. You don't even know why. You go to shaking and you know nothing is wrong with you. You're just saying, You're dizzy. You kind of start feeling, woo, what was that? I went to the doctor. Nothing's wrong. I ate. I don't understand. Listen, it could be an anger problem. Nino said Motrin.com. Let me tell you, you running and getting the pills, trying to pop it away. Listen, it's an anger issue. I told you to type in, my anger is speaking to me. Listen, here are some other signs that you perhaps could be angry. It's like you want to get away from the situation. Something happens and you saying, I don't want to deal with that. You walk away. You get irritated real quick. I hope I'm helping. You start feeling sad or depressed, or you start feeling guilty. Anger issues. You start feeling resentful or anxious. Like, I don't know what's getting ready to happen. Somewhere it might be something up under there. You want to strike out verbally, or you just feel like you just want to hit somebody. Listen, those could be some, I hope y'all are sharing this on your page, because there's somebody that needs to hear this message. Or you might notice, now check this out. I'm talking about anger issues. You might notice that you're always rubbing your head. Think about yourself, especially in men. You start, you just kind of rubbing your head, just anger issues. Listen, or you cup your fist with your other hand. You're kind of doing this. You kind of, listen, these are signs, telltale signs that you could be having some repressed anger issues. Pacing, just walking back and forth. Listen, pacing. Hear this, getting sarcastic. That's a big one. You notice that your mouth is real slick. You always got something real slick to say. Listen, it could perhaps be repressed anger issues. Listen, you're abrasive, or you start craving a drink or a smoke or something that help you relax. For some people, it's sex. It could be that you're trying to repress anger issues, or you raise your voice. You always getting loud. You having a conversation and somebody may say something to you, and all of a sudden you're yelling, and they saying, whoa, why are you yelling? What's going on? Hey. Anger issues, something on the inside that you didn't deal with, or you just start to cry. You're in your car, you start thinking about something, you just start to cry. You just get so full, tears just running down your eyes. Listen, unresolved anger issues. And so we have to ask ourselves a question, well, why am I getting angry? Well, you might feel threatened or attacked. You ever felt threatened by somebody? Usually when you feel threatened by somebody, it's a couple of ways you feel threatened. Sometimes you feel threatened by people because you feel like they got it out for you. But can I tell you, sometimes you get threatened by people because you feel like they're doing better than you. I'm dropping the mic. I said threatened. When you feel like somebody out to get you, that's one thing that'll make you angry. Or when you feel like somebody's doing better than you, you start feeling threatened. Listen, that could be an anger issue. You could be thinking, after all I did, and they want to come at me like that. Or you're thinking, man, everything I've done, and how do they get that? How is it that they got access to that? What are they doing that I'm not doing? My anger is speaking to me. And this is a big one, when you feel powerless, you get angry. Sometimes you don't realize why you're getting angry. But if you ever get in a situation and you feel like you have no control over it, it will provoke you to be angry. You don't know what to do. There's nothing you can do about it. Anger issues, and you got anger on the inside of you. When you feel invalidated, like you're being treated wrong, and you're saying, I can't believe, you're looking for somebody to say something positive to you, to affirm you, to validate you. Whoa. You start saying, I'm angry. Why didn't they acknowledge me? See, this is getting to the root of stuff that we really can't tell people. Now, as much as I did for them, why didn't they acknowledge me? They know I want to feel validated. I need somebody. Listen, there were dozens of men at the altar this Sunday when I was at my friend Pastor Knighton's church. And I was so overwhelmed because the Lord had me to stand on that pulpit and say that there were some men out there that had unresolved issues that they were suppressing. And those men came, and I prophetically spoke to them about unresolved issues on the inside. They were feeling like they were being treated unfairly. They were feeling like they weren't acknowledged. Sometimes you're really looking for a thank you. Sometimes you're really looking to feel appreciated. Sometimes all you really want is for somebody to validate you as a wife, as a husband, as a mom, as a caretaker, as a friend. And when they don't, you really feel angry. But you keep telling yourself, wait, I'm not supposed to feel angry because I know they didn't have to do it and they don't owe me. We start talking ourselves out of it. They really don't owe me anything, so let me not even be angry. We talk ourselves down from anger. Listen, be angry, just sin not. He can't heal what you don't reveal, and you won't reveal what you won't feel. And so we've got to take these desensitizers off of ourselves. We got to stop numbing it. We've got to stop putting Orajel on our pain and say, wait a minute, my pain is speaking to me. My pain is trying to tell me something. See, a lot of the way that we interpret pain has to do with how we were brought up. Can we just tell the truth? I call it trace the tree. Oh, yeah, when you trace the tree, you might have thought, you know what, it's okay. People tell you, hey, suck that up, take that, deal with that. And so you shut that down. Hey, oh, no, you're not going to get angry now. And so you start repressing it. You start putting it up somewhere. And then you didn't have an outlet. You didn't have an outlet, and all of a sudden, now you got bad headaches. Now your stomach is hurting. Now you wonder why you feel like you're gonna faint. Repressed your childhood, so you don't know how to deal with anger. Or maybe you were the temper tantrum thrower, and instead of being taught how to talk out your emotions, you just sat there and showed your behind, just fell all out and screamed and yelled and threw stuff. And then maybe your parents just pacified it. Well, here, eat this. Here, let me buy you something. Here's some money. Stop falling out. And nobody ever got you to the point to talk about your pain and why you were angry. And can I tell you something? Some of us bring that same tantrum into our adulthood. And we don't learn how to talk through our anger. All we know how to do is yell, scream, and throw a fit. Uh-oh, I hope I'm helping. I might be stepping on some toes tonight, but this is how we get free. And so our childhood, our upbringing has taught us how to deal with pain. It teaches us, well, either I'm going to hold it in and suck it up and not tell anybody and pretend like I'm okay, or either I'm going to show my butt because that's the only way I know to get what I want. I know I'm talking to somebody tonight. Thank you for saying ouch if that's you. And so you're thinking to yourself, well, when I wanted my mama or my daddy to do right, all I had to do was just get mad, start yelling, fall out, act the fool, and they went ahead and gave me what I wanted. So guess what? The way I get my husband to do what I want him to do, I get mad, I yell, I fall out, I throw a tantrum. Listen, anger issues, but you can't fix what you won't face. Or maybe you witnessed the adults in your home either not showing that they were angry, never even fighting. There are so many dysfunctions that can happen out of our childhood. Maybe you grew up in a house and you said, you know what, my mom and dad, I never heard them fight. And then you wonder, why can't I have healthy relationships? Because you never understood. Well, then how do you work out your resolve? How do you do it then? Or you were brought up and all you saw was your mama and daddy fighting. And you just thought that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to yell, kick, and scream. Tish, bless you, woman of God, for being on. And so anger issues. And so we carry these over into our adult life. Now, the Bible says that when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child. And when I became a man or a woman, I threw away my childish things. But can I tell you, a lot of us are bringing our childhood issues into our adult realities. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. A lot of us are bringing our childhood issues into our adult realities. And we're responding like children. We don't know what to do with our anger. So either we do what little children do when they get mad. You know how they shut down and they fold their arms and they sit in the corner and won't look at you? Angry. But I'm just going to give you the silent treatment. Come on, how many adults are guilty? We get an attitude and then we just give this angry. But instead of learning how to talk it through, I'm just going to do the silent treatment. And then we're holding that on the inside of us and we're repressing it. And guess what? It's festering. Or with children, we showed up and we showed out. And so when somebody makes us mad as an adult, here we go showing our tail. Here we go posting crazy stuff on Facebook. Here we go throwing a fit and they having to call the cops. Here we go showing out in public and people looking at us crazy. Anger issues. Repressed things that we never dealt with as children, we never dealt with in our past. Thank you guys that are saying, I see me, and then we're bringing it up into our adulthood. Now listen, there are 4 kinds of anger, and I want to touch on them. 4 kinds of anger. I want to touch on them tonight because it helps us identify what phase am I in. Because I told you we have to recognize that, listen, the truth is I'm mad. I'm angry. Well, the first one is aggressive anger. Aggressive anger is those of y'all that's fighters, ready to fight. I mean, start taking off your earring if somebody looking at you crazy. That's aggressive anger. That's when that person, when you're naturally, you're going to attack somebody. Somebody says something crazy. That's the first kind of anger. It's 4 types. Aggressive anger. When you're ready to get to it. Somebody says something and you want to put your hands on them. You want to snatch them. You want to put those paws on them. Aggressive anger. That's the first time. And so you going, all you think it is, baby, kill or be killed. You trying to go for the jugular. That is aggressive anger. Listen, when you want to attack somebody for whatever reason, you give yourself the hype up. Like you start sitting there thinking, man, I remember when they did this, and I remember how they looked at me, and I remember when this happened, and you just start rolling through your head. Oh yeah, hyping yourself up, thinking about all of the memories, all of the things you're angry about. That's a dangerous type of anger. That's aggressive anger. I'm talking about 4 types of anger. The second type of anger is defensive anger. You got to say, I see me. I'm telling you, if you can't say amen, I'll take a ouch. Number 2 is defensive anger. That's when you feel attacked. And so you're angry because your defenses are up. You're saying, wait a minute. I sent something and I don't know if I need to fight or flight. Should I run? Or should I fight? I'm defensive. You're getting defensive. So you're either going to say, I'm walking away from this situation. I'm not going to deal with it because I feel my anger getting ready to shift. So I'm either going to flight, I'm going to get out of here, or I'm getting ready to fight. That defensive anger. And can I tell you, most times when you're defensive, it's because of fear. I'm dropping the bomb tonight. Most times those of us that have defensive anger, it's because we're fearful. We feel like the other person getting ready to tell the truth on us and we don't want to hear it. Let's just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Defensive anger is, let me shut them down before they say something I don't want to hear because I'm really scared to hear it. I really don't want to hear it because it really might be the truth and I'm not going to know how to handle it. I hope I'm helping tonight. Defensive anger. We feel somebody, listen, I need to talk to you all of a sudden. Whew, we feel our body getting stiff. Look like our head start hurting and we saying, It's a trigger. I told you at the beginning, I have a trigger. And so it comes across like anger, but you're really scared. You're really thinking, what's about to happen? So let me get myself ready. They want to talk to me. Am I going to have to fight or flight? Am I going to have to run or am I going to have to defend myself? Defensive anger. You don't even know what's going on, but you already ready. You feel your walls coming up. You feel everything like, let me just get prepared because this thing about to go left. I feel it. Defensive anger. Listen, that's an issue that has not been dealt with. Now hear this. Number 3, the third type of anger is outraged anger. When you're just outraged, when you're just saying, I can't believe that. Why would he even do that? How could this even happen? Can I tell you something that I learned about outraged anger? Outraged anger is usually when you see somebody else dealing with something you had to go through. Yeah, outraged anger, usually when we get outraged about something, it's because we see somebody going through something and we remember when we went through it and maybe we didn't do it right. Maybe we remember that, I remember when I used to let that man talk to me any kind of way. I remember when I used to let that woman talk down on me. And when we see it happening to somebody else, we get outraged because we're thinking to ourselves, I dealt with that and I didn't handle it correctly. So what I'm going to do is deflect my feelings onto somebody else because I won't stand up for me. But when I see somebody else in trouble, oh man, I'm outraged. I'm ready to go in for them. Come on now. If you can't say amen, say ouch. And so a lot of times, outraged anger, you see your child getting done a certain kind of way and you ready to just go off. But when it's you or when it was happening to you, you kind of let it slide. Outraged anger. And last but not least, frustrated anger. Frustrated anger. When you get so frustrated and mad, I told you anger is triggered by your inability to control. When something has happened and it's beyond your ability to control it and you just feel like there's nothing you can do about it, anger. If somebody molested you, if somebody mistreated you, if somebody betrayed you, if somebody took something from you, if somebody left you, if you procrastinated and you missed an opportunity, if it's something happened beyond your control, frustrated anger. You can't get back at them. Frustrated because what do I do with that anger? It was beyond my control. I was young when it happened. I was defenseless when it happened. And I'm frustrated, but I'm angry because there was nothing that I could do about it. And so now I've been walking into my adulthood mad and pretending like I'm okay. Frustrated, anger. And so we walk around and we're mad. We walk around and we're frustrated with ourselves and we're frustrated with other people. And because we didn't acknowledge that anger, then what we do is every time there's a trigger, we take it out on that person. This person sounds like the other person, and all of a sudden you'll just direct your anger toward them. You ever been mad at your spouse? And then, but you really couldn't get them like you wanted to. And then your child or your friend said something crazy and you just went all the way off, deflecting it. You're mad at him, but you'll take it out on her. You're mad at them, but look who got to pay the price for it. You're mad at you, but what do? You sabotage yourself. You take it out. I'm going to go deep for just a second because I said when I did this mic drop that we've got to learn how to admit, acknowledge, and accept. A lot of us won't admit that we're mad because we're thinking, if I admit that I'm mad, it's going to make me a bad person. If I admit that I'm mad, people are going to think that I'm trying to play the victim. If I admit that I'm mad, I might go to hell. If I admit that I'm mad, what kind of person would that mean? Listen, the Bible says be angry, but sin not. And I keep saying this because I need y'all to get it. God can't heal what you won't reveal. And you won't reveal what you don't feel. And so you keep telling yourself that you're not angry. You keep telling yourself that you're not really mad. But I'm flowing in the prophetic, and I need to tell you guys what kind of anger issues I'm sensing from those of you guys, even that's watching tonight. I don't know how you knew, cynical. Put your seatbelts on because I'm getting ready to shift. There are some of you all that are mad at your mother. You're mad at your mom because even though she was working, she made you stay home and take care of the kids. And you didn't get a chance to have a real childhood. You're angry. You don't want to be mad at her because you're saying, oh, that's not fair for me to be mad because she was out there working, but you're mad. You're angry. Some of you all are mad at your mother because you saw her in abusive relationships. You saw her being mistreated and she didn't even stand up for herself. And you're angry. You're mad because she taught you how to take it. She taught you how to let somebody do it. And you're mad. You don't want to be mad, but you're angry. You're saying, oh, I want to just ask her, why didn't she stand up for herself? Angry. Some of you all are mad at your dad because he left. He left and you had to be the man of the family. You were too young to be the man of the family. He left and you guys, y'all weren't able to live good because, well, your daddy left. So, this is what we got to do to get by. Mad. Mad because when your daddy left, it taught you that you couldn't trust men. And so now you're not able to have whole and wholesome relationships. Angry. Some of you all are mad because you felt like your parents forced religion down your throat and didn't give you an opportunity, didn't really talk to you about what was going on. Just said, just call Jesus and be done with it. Mad. Mad because they tried to pretend like they were so perfect in front of you. And so you went around thinking, I must be a bad person because I'm not perfect. And my mom and daddy made me think they were perfect and saved their whole life. And I'm angry. Some of you all are angry because you never wanted to have kids. You didn't want to get pregnant. That wasn't your plan. You didn't, that wasn't what you got to take care of them because they're yours now. But you're angry because you got pregnant, and you're angry that I got a house full of kids, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a nurse. Angry. Some of you all are angry because you weren't able to have kids. Angry. Maybe it was because you didn't get the right vaccinations when you were small, and your parents, they didn't know any better. Maybe it was because somebody violated you and it caused you not to be able to have children, and you're angry. Angry. Some of you all are angry because nobody said, I'm sorry. You know they did you wrong. Angry. You know they mistreated you. And they walk around like they're fine. And they walk around like they didn't do anything. Angry. Some of you all are angry because he left you. She left you. Thank you, Anthony, for sharing. For the people in the back, somebody needs to hear this. If you guys haven't already shared it, share it, because this is how we get free. I'm flowing in the prophetic. You're angry because that man said, he made a vow and he promised that he would not leave. And he left. And now you raising these kids by yourself. Angry. Some of you all are angry because that woman pretended she was one thing. And when the mess came off, that wasn't who she was. And so you feel like you were fooled. Angry. Some of you all are angry because your brothers and sisters won't step up and help. I know I'm flowing because I felt that one. You angry. They won't step up and they won't help. And you're having to do it by yourself. And you're angry. Some of you all are angry because this is not the life you had in mind. This isn't what you asked for. This isn't how you saw things working out. Angry. You're angry because you thought you would be further along now. You thought, come on now, by this time I should have been married. By this time I should have had a good job. By this time I should have had my own ministry. By this time I should have had a car. By this time. And I don't. So who am I really? Angry. Some of you all are angry because you got with the wrong person. And you feel stuck. Like you don't have any way out. Who am I talking to tonight? Angry. Some of you all are angry because you trusted a person with you and they didn't make good financial decisions. And now you're having to make do. You're having to rob Peter to pay Paul. You're angry because you're having to do it all. Some of you all are angry because you're not appreciated. I'm talking about anger issues. I'm flowing prophetically. Angry. You're angry because all you really want is a thank you. And it's your kids. They won't even call you sacrifice. You do things. They won't say a thing. And you're angry. And you don't know how to get free because you're angry. You won't acknowledge it. And I'm going deep. I told you I'm flowing tonight. God can't heal what you won't reveal. And you won't reveal what you don't feel. Thank you guys for telling the truth. Angry. Some of you all are angry. And you're really angry at God. But you really can't. You really don't know how to put that into words. You're angry because he took somebody from you. He took mama. He took grandmama. He took your husband. He took your wife. He took your son. He took your daughter. Angry. He took your sister. He took your brother. And you're angry. You're saying, how could you let this happen? And God, I'm struggling with that because I know I'm not supposed to be mad with you. I know that I'm supposed to know that you know a thing from the beginning. I know, but I'm angry. Angry. Why? Angry. These are anger issues, and we're not able to be healed because we don't know how to address our anger issues. We got to admit, I'm angry. Some of us, we're angry. I'm feeling this prophetically. You're angry because you feel used. You feel used. Maybe it was church. Maybe it was work. Maybe it was your family. They just let you do it all. Let you take one for the team. Just let you do it. And you feel like they used up all your time. Used up all your talents. Used up all your tithe. Used it up. And when somebody better came along, put you to the side like they didn't even know your first name. Angry. Angry. You feel angry. Some of you all are angry because you feel as though that person used up your life, wasted up years of your life, and all for what? And you're angry. Angry. Because you're saying, I wasted all of my time. You know what I could have been doing? You know what I could have been? Angry. Thank you guys for telling the truth. I knew this was going to be a very prophetic night. Anger issues. I feel you. I am flowing. Thank you guys for telling me that I'm talking to you guys. I'm flowing prophetically. And so we're angry. Some of you all are angry because you were at a place in your life where you felt like you had arrived. This is it. This is exactly where I want to be. This is exactly where I need to be. And just like that, it was gone. You lost everything. What happened? What happened to your car? What happened to your marriage? What happened to that house? I was doing good. Now I'm angry. Lost it. Angry. Some of you that are watching are angry with how you look. You're angry. I'm flowing. Prophetically, I feel it. You're angry. You don't like how you look. You don't like what you look like. You don't like your body. You don't like your skin color. You don't like your teeth. You don't like your eyes. You're angry. You're saying, why I gotta look like this? My other friends don't look like this. My brother doesn't look like this. I'm angry. Bless you. Somebody said, I didn't even know that I was that angry. Listen, God can't heal what you won't reveal. And you won't reveal what you don't feel. And tonight, we've got to admit that we're angry. I'm telling you, I told you guys to type at the beginning. Your anger is trying to tell you something. Your anger is trying to tell you where you are broken, where you have some unresolved issues, and you're walking around and you're wondering why things are falling apart in your life. You're walking around wondering why your relationship is going left. It's because you have anger issues on the inside. Some of you guys are angry because you felt like you deserved better. Now, I deserve better than that. Why did I have to end up with this? My brother is doing better, and I was the one that didn't give my mama any problems. Why me? Angry. Angry. Some of you guys are angry ladies, and thank you, mother, ladies that had these babies by men, and you're angry because you thought, they said, I got you. I got you. And then you had these babies and you're stuck raising them by yourself and you're angry. You are angry. Whew, I know I'm flowing prophetically. If there is a man or some men that are watching, you're angry at your daddy because he never taught you how to be a man. He never taught you how to really treat your wife or your girlfriend or even your children. He didn't teach you. And so every day you're frustrated because you're saying, man, I can't do this right. But who even showed me what to do? I don't even know what to do. How am I doing this? You're angry. You're angry because you're saying, listen, I know my wife mad at me, but I'm mad at myself. But nobody taught me. You're mad. I know I'm going deep and I'm flowing in the prophetic. Some of you all are angry. The parent that you're angry at is dead. And you can't even get healed because you don't know how to deal with your anger and they're not even here. And you're saying, I can't be mad at him. He ain't even here anymore, but you're angry. I can't be mad at her because she gone on, but you're angry. I'm angry at my daddy and he's not even here for me to lash out at. I'm angry at my mama. She done moved on. She gone on to glory and I'm angry. I am angry. And we think that if I acknowledge my anger, that means I'm a bad person. That means something is wrong with me. Some of you all are angry. You're angry at your children because they remind you of the person that you got pregnant by, ladies. You're angry at them. You're looking at them and you're saying, oh, that boy look just like his daddy. Oh, that girl sound just like her mama, and you're angry. You don't know how to acknowledge it. You're angry. And so we have anger issues that we don't know how to deal with. And we won't acknowledge and we won't admit that we mad. Some of us are angry at our moms because we felt like you chose him over us. And I'm angry. I'm angry because we're the ones that's going to be here when he leaves. I'm angry. Woo, I just felt this in the prophetic. Some of you all are angry at your mom because you feel like she knew about the abuse and looked the other way. And you're angry. And you're angry. You feel bad because you're saying, but that's my mom. I got to love her. But you keep wondering, why? Why is my relationship wrong with her? You're angry. You're angry because you're saying, I know that woman knew what that man was doing. You angry. Some of you all are angry at your molester because they are a family member. And you're angry because the rest of the family still deal with them. And you angry because you want to call them out, but you're still trying to respect the family. And you're angry. Anger. I know that this is a sensitive, deep subject, but I'm telling you guys, God can't heal what you won't reveal, and you won't reveal what you don't feel. And so tonight, I'm going to pray prophetically for anger issues. And I usually don't do this, but I feel it so strong. So many of you guys are angry. You are angry because you feel like you were manipulated. You had a life. You had a life plan. It was going this way. And now this happened. It tainted you. It stained you. And you're dealing with it. And you have a shame and you're angry. You want a do-over and you're angry. But I'm praying even now for the spirit of healing to go forward. I'm praying even now for the spirit of release to go forward. Those of you guys that were honest enough to acknowledge it. Those of you all that were honest enough to say, you know what? I'm tired of lying. I'm angry. God, and I've been angry a long time. I'm angry. God says now, because you have admitted it and you've revealed it, now I can heal it. Because you finally said, here it is. Here is my anger. I'm admitting it. And I'm going to acknowledge who I'm angry with. And I'm going to acknowledge what I'm angry about. Let me accept, God, that you can take this anger and you can move it from me. Because I want to be free. Because I want to be whole. Because I want to be healed. There are those of you all that are watching and your relationship with your spouse is strained because you're angry. And you're not angry with them. They're just the only person that you have that you're able to take it out on. And so every time they do something that's a trigger, you lash out or you shut down. You lash out or you shut down because you're angry. But I pray even in the atmosphere now prophetically that the spirit of healing began to wash over you all. I'm praying for those of you guys that admitted that I'm angry, that you begin even now to feel just a wave. And I want you guys that are angry, I want you to do this with me. Take a breath in and release it. Can you do that? Take a breath. And I know it sounds crazy, but the Bible says he'll use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Take a breath and release it. One more time. Take a breath in and release it. That first breath was because I'm admitting that I'm angry, and I'm letting it out. That second breath was that I'm acknowledging who I'm angry with, and I'm releasing it. That third breath was that I'm accepting it happened, and I'm releasing it. I'm going to say it again. God can't heal what you won't reveal, and you won't reveal what you don't feel. And so we're breathing in. We're breathing in all of that stuff we were holding. We're breathing in all of that toxicity. We're breathing in resentment. We're breathing in all of that stuff, that toxic stuff that we were holding. And we're releasing it because we got to be free. We got to be able to walk in healing. So I pray even through the airwaves that those of you all that are mad with mama because she looked the other way, mad with mama because she said some things that you still are carrying right now. Those of you that are mad with daddy because he didn't teach you how to be a man. Mad with God because he took your mama, he took your grandmother, he took your dad too soon. Mad. And my granny said it, that's my famous saying, you got to let it go so that you can grow. And so tonight, you've got to say this, and you've got to, even you can repeat it. God, I admit that I am angry. I acknowledge that I've been mad for a long time. I accept that it happened. I'm angry, even with you, God. I'm angry because I don't think you should have did me like that. I'm angry because I don't think that was fair to my family. I'm angry because I felt like because we went to church and we did right, we should have been exempt from that. I'm angry with my sister because of how she acts with me. I'm angry with that man because he betrayed me. I'm angry with that woman because she was so ugly, but she still looked like she getting the better part. I'm angry. But God, I want to release it so that I can be free. I want to let it go so that I can grow. Because if I sit here and if I dwell on it, if I sit here and I keep burying it, if I sit here and keep pretending like I'm not mad, I won't be healed. I won't get free. And so God, release the anger from me. Because a lot of times we're angry with what we don't understand. A lot of times we're angry because we can only see our little part and we can't see the big picture. A lot of times we're angry because we don't have control. And so tonight we're releasing anger. Tonight there is help, there is hope, there is healing. And so how do I control my anger going forward? I learn my triggers. Now that I'm accepting the fact that I'm angry, now that I'm accepting the fact that, whoa, my anger is speaking to me, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen out for my triggers. I'm going to examine the way that I think. What happens when I get angry? Let me acknowledge my thoughts. I'm going to develop my communication skills. I'm angry. And instead of yelling and screaming or shutting down, God, teach me how to speak. Teach me how to express my feelings. Teach me how to say what I feel. Teach me how to speak. And last but not least, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at my lifestyle. What does that mean? I'm going to look at what do I have around me. I'm going to look at the people that are around me and that are in my life. I'm going to look and I'm going to say, wait a minute. What is in my life that's causing me to be angry? Who do I have around me that's permeating anger? Who is around me that's causing me to continue to be angry? I am going to look. What is that? And so tonight was deep. I know tonight was different than anything I've ever done. Tonight, I know that I hit some issues that I've never hit before. I know tonight I'm dealing with some things in the air, some things that we might have been afraid to say. Somebody said because I felt guilty admitting that I'm angry. But I got to get free. I got to release it. And so I know somebody has already asked. I hate doing this because, I feel like I give you this stuff, guys, free. I give you this stuff because it's what the Lord puts on me to give you guys. But anybody that wants to sow a seed of me touching and agreeing with you guys to pray for healing from anger and want to pray for healing to be released from the things that you are angry about. Maybe you couldn't confess it here on Mic Drop Monday. You can send me an inbox and I will touch and agree with you in prayer so that you can be healed, so that you can be whole. Those of you guys that heard the prophetic word, you knew I was talking to you. You knew that some of the things that I called out in the prophetic, you said, oh my goodness, that's me. I need to be healed. You can acknowledge it. And you can send me a message and say, that was me. That was me. You called me all the way out. I was angry. Listen, let me know because I want to touch and agree with you so that you can be healed. A lot of times when we sow seeds, we're sowing into our faith. We're saying, God, you know what? I realize that I'm angry. I'm sowing because I need to be free of this. We're angry with our spouses because they cheated, and even though we forgave them, we're still mad. We're angry with people who lied and we still going on with them, but we know they lied and we never did confront them because we don't want to lose them. Angry. Anger issues. God can't heal what you won't reveal. You won't reveal what you don't feel. And so, thank you guys that are telling me that I called you out. I knew I was speaking prophetically when I was calling some of it. And again, I knew tonight was touchy. I knew I was calling out some deep things. But if that were you, and if you received those words that we spoke, and if you are saying it's me and I want to touch and agree because I want to be healed, I do not want to walk around angry another day, then listen, get your freedom tonight. Be healed. Women and men of God that are watching. Listen, that's what I have tonight. I pray that you all got some help, some hope, and some healing. I pray that you all, even though it had to cause you to dig deep, I pray that you guys got something on the inside of you that will change your life forever. Thank you so much for watching with me. If you didn't already, share this with somebody because listen, you're not the only one angry. There are some people that you're walking around with every day that are angry and don't know how to deal with. If you came on late, I promise you, you need to go back to the beginning and watch it because I spoke and I put some things out about what we are angry about. But listen, there's help, there is hope, and there is healing. I'm ElisaLaShell, the empowerment specialist. Again, those of you all that said you wanted to sow, I did put my information. You're welcome to sow. There's no amount that you have to sow. If you can't sow and you still want me to touch and agree with you in prayer, send me a message and let me know, hey, listen, that was me that you called out because I'm angry, because I want you to release that anger so that you can move on. Thank you, guys that are telling me that this message was right down your alley, that it helped you, that it was right what you needed. Bless you. I'm so grateful for all of you guys, and I will see you all again next Monday night, same place, same time for Mic Drop Monday. I'm ElisaLaShell, the empowerment specialist. See you guys next time.